Hey, what's up, Logo Psychology students? It is Wednesday, June 24th, 2020, day 62 overall of our e-learning experience, and it is midterm for term 6. That's right, midterm grades are coming out today. Good news and bad news there. The good news is it is almost over, right? We got half a term left in the 2019-2020 school year. That's pretty impressive that we've made it this far, and we only got a little over 3 weeks to go. Bad news is if you haven't been keeping up with your work, your midterm grade might not be where you want it to be. Good news is it's just a midterm grade. Midterm grades are just a progress report. This grade doesn't go on your transcript. It doesn't affect your GPA. You still got time to bring it up before we get to your final grade. That's the good news. On the other side, if your midterm grade is great, don't think you can just slack off for the next 3.5 weeks because it can certainly go down before the end of the term. And we don't want that to happen. We want everyone's grade, wherever it is, to go up. Unless you have 100%, can't go any higher than that. But no grades going down. We want midterm grades to be just a snapshot that we're going to raise up before we get to the end of the term. That's the idea. So let's go ahead and take a look at Blackbaud and what we can do to keep our grade high or bring our grade even higher than it is. It's very simple. There's really 3 ways that you earn your grade, and it's right here under the e-learning instructions. First and foremost, tomorrow is Thursday. It's our Zoom meeting day. At 9 a.m. we have a Zoom meeting, and you get participation points just for showing up. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to share your video. Just make sure you're logged into that Zoom meeting at 9 a.m. tomorrow. The link will be here on the bulletin board. It'll be under assignments. It'll be in the email invite that you get and the message invite that you get. So make sure you're going to those Zoom meetings. That's going to help your grade. Make sure you're answering the question of the day. Again, this is a very easy way to increase your grade. Question of the day, there is no one right answer. It's just your opinion. And then you have the readings, right? The readings and the questions to go along with those readings. That's going to be part of your grade right there. So those 3 things. It's very simple. Very straightforward. So speaking of the readings, where do you find the readings? Under topics. So if we go back up here to our tabs and we go to the next tab over, the topics tab, we're actually starting a new topic today. You see the most recent topics are always to the left. We have been working on human development for the first few weeks of this term. Today we're starting theories of personality. And we see a picture of Sigmund Freud with a quote from Freud there. That's a funny quote. If you know anything about Freud, but if we click on the theories of personality tab, right, we see the Google Forms embed of the questions to go along with today's reading, chapter 14, pages 405 to 413. And then there's the download of the reading, chapter 14, page 405 to 413. So let's go ahead and click on that download. We'll see what we got. Difficulties in understanding personality. It is difficult. Personalities are very complex. And where do they come from? How do we get them? How do we change them when there's problems with them? You can't really change a person's personality, right? When we talk about psychological disorders, there's lots of psychological disorders that can be treated, right? Anxiety, depression, even things like schizophrenia. And substance abuse and things like that. We know treatments that can fix those problems, right? Can cure people of those. Personality disorders are the most difficult psychological disorders to treat and to cure because it's so ingrained in who we are. Your personality is you, and if you stop being, if you change your personality, you're not yourself anymore, right? And so, where does this come from, right? What is personality and where does it come from? That's what this chapter is all about. And the first theory we're going to see about personality, what it is and where it comes from, the first ever theory of personality was proposed by Sigmund Freud, who's like the biggest name in the history of psychology. He's the father of psychoanalytic theory or psychoanalysis. Sigmund Freud came up with this theory about 100 years ago. A little less than 100 years ago, but it's very old. It's a little outdated, but it's the first, and so we still want to study it. And it's got some useful information. It's also got some weird stuff to it, but there's some terms that you may have heard of before because, again, Freud is so pervasive that his theories, they make it, into the pop culture. So if you've heard you've heard the word ego. If you've heard the word superego or id, that goes along with the ego. There's three parts to our personality in our mind, according to Freud: the id, the ego, and the superego. And then Freud has this kind of strange stages of development, right? And it's based on Freud's theory that who we are as adults is a result of our experiences during infancy, when we're babies and very small children, right? How our parents raised us and the experiences we had during these stages of early development play a big role in our personality as adults. That's Freud's theory. There's something to that, even if his theory is a little weird. And I say it's a little weird, especially because of how he titles the stages. It's based on body parts, and it's based on sex drive, which is weird when you're talking about children. And for Freud, it wasn't, he didn't believe in sexualizing children. Obviously, that's disgusting. But he does believe that, the sex drive, what he calls the libido, is the life drive, right? There's this death drive and there's this life drive. And the libido, the sex drive, is the life drive. And so his stages are called the oral stage, the anal stage, the phallic stage, and the genital stage. Don't blame me. I didn't come up with the names. It's Freud. So yeah, he's a little weird, but very interesting nonetheless. And so when you learn about those theories, learn about a student of Freud named Carl Jung. Carl Jung's theory is a little out there too. Again, these guys come up with these theories way, way long time ago, and they're just kind of the basis for some more up-to-date theories that we'll learn about as we get into the chapter. But you have 5 pause for thought questions to go along with this reading. And as always, those can be found under the assignments tab, right? And also under the assignments tab, you will find your question of the day. So let's take a look at this question of the day. And again, it gets back to Freud's theory and his theory about childhood experiences. And here's my question to you. How much, if any impact, do you think our experiences during infancy and early childhood have on our personalities as adults? Right? According to Freud, how you get through potty training has a big impact on how you live your life as an adult. How you get through weaning, right? Getting off breastfeeding or getting off the bottle when you're a baby, how your parents handle that, according to Freud, has a big impact on your behavior as a teenager and as an adult. What do you think? I mean, I bet it has some impact, but how much? Let me know what you think. Answer the question of the day. Answer those pause for thought questions from the reading from chapter 14. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 9 a.m. for the Zoom meeting. Be there. Peace.